Hello everybody and welcome back to another tutorial by NovaPans Handpans. This is pattern 23. We are, I promise, going to write some more sheet music on the page here. We're developing this chord progression further. That's what we'll do today. And you might be wondering, how much can you develop a certain chord progression before you just get tired of it? And the answer is, there is no answer, honestly. You can repeat a chord progression for as many times as there are variations. And there are infinite variations in a way, according to time, according to the notes, according to the rhythm. But essentially, the same progression of the chords does get a little bit overly repetitive, and that's where you might like to integrate the other pattern chord progressions of, or the same chord progression, but instead of going from bottom to top, top to bottom, for example. But knowing that you can do at least 20 to 30 variations of the same chord progression basically tells you can make at least 90 different little snippets of the songs and piece them together and create a whole performance, if you like. So that's quite exciting. So what was that? Hopefully I didn't forget. Yeah. Compared to the previous pattern, it's a little bit simpler. We're playing chords, right? One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So in a way, I almost don't have to. I will notate the full manuscript rather. But I think I can simply do this as a singular motif, which you can then reference and interchange the notes to develop yourself. So the first notes are 3 and 5, or I should say, yeah, 3 and 5. 3, 5 is a chord, and then 3, 5, down, 3, 5. Three, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 8. Yeah, 8. Up here, continues to play. 8, 5, 3, 5, 8, 5, 3, 5. And then 3, 5, 3, 5 again. And you repeat that. Well, essentially you repeat that, but with changed chords. The 8 stays the same. Okay? So I might put a little green circle around, or implication here, to imply that the 8, which is here, we know the space between the 4th and the 5th line, remains the same as you develop this little motif or motif. What's changing is the chord, as you learned from the previous pattern. We're changing from 3 and 5, so all the 3s and all the 5s now change to 6 and 4 respectively. Notice, because the hand positions change. What that means essentially is, instead of having, assumingly, 5 here on the offbeat, 5 begins to be played. Sorry. What that means is, in this case, where 5 being the higher note of the diatonic, the chord in the first bar, is on the offbeats, as you can see there. The higher note, once you start playing 4 and 6, becomes 6, right? With in relation to the pitch, the 6 is the higher note, but the right hand has changed, and the rhythm stays the same. And the reason we do that is to avoid crisscrossing when you play the melody, and we covered that in the previous 2 patterns. But what that means is, when this is notated and when you do play it, the higher note is no longer being played on the offbeat. The higher note, which is the 6th note, is now being played on the onbeat. So look at how I count this. 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and the 5 is on every E and 1 and 2 E, 1 and 2 E and 4 E, 3 and, right? 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and the 5 is on every offbeat. An offbeat is just between the beats. Whereas when we come to 4 and 6, the right hand is over here. 1. Yeah, it's, watch the 6. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4. 1 and 1 E and 2 E. 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 E and. Notice how the 6 is being played on the onbeats, the 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and the ands, the half beat onbeats. I'm sorry if that's getting complicated. I think most of you know, get the idea of what I'm talking about. But because you switch the hands and you move to the next chord, the sense of where the on and the offbeat changes in relation to how high or low the note of the chord is you're playing. You don't need to get too technical into that. Essentially what you do, and this is the brief that everyone was waiting for, you just switch the high and the low notes from each other. And I will notate that for you. So, because it helps. If I do it at least once for the next chord of 4 and 6, you will get it for the next. But the full sheet music will be available from the website. So it's 4 and 6. 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 8, 6. Oh, no, I've done exactly what I explained that we're not doing for 5 minutes. The positions are changing. So instead of it being 3-5, it would be 5-3, but in this case, instead of it being 4-6, it's going to be 6-4, 6-4, 6-4. Likewise here, 8-4, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4. I'm sorry that I spent so long explaining that. Just, you know, to be simple, we've really just switched the hand positions around, and the rhythms have followed. The notes have followed. You can repeat that, or you can evolve it to include the next chord, notes of the chord, which would be, instead of 4 and 6, it would be 5 and 7. But let's just play 4 and 6. So again, right hand is on the top this time, as opposed to the bottom. Right, and that applies to every sixth note there. Likewise, left on the bottom there applies to every fourth note. On the first bar, the left hand, that's a left, is being applied to every fifth note. And you play that second bar like this. Quite simple, really. And the first bar, second bar, slowly. And then you would go to 5 and 7 on the left. And the right hand ends there on the bottom. So again, check out the sheet music. It will essentially show you this plus the third chord progression, or 5 and 7. And with the respective hand positions also, and well, we haven't come to dynamics yet, but we will. That's pattern 23. Let me know if you've got any questions. See you at the next video. Bye bye.